Hey everyone! So this week we are talking about books that we're excited to read in 2012, and I'm going to mention that I have quite a few books and piles next to me that I'm going to talk about because 2012 is going to be a great year. But you do have fair warning, this will be a bit longer than normal. I know I already talk a lot, so I should just shut up now. But I think it'll be beneficial to you guys because I'm going to add a bunch of books to your to be read pile. So first up, I want to mention that both Tempest by Julie Cross and The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith are two great books that I think you should read. This one's coming out in January, this one's coming out in February. I know Lauren, Harmony, and Gabrielle already kind of mentioned these, so I'm not going to talk about them, but they are great books. Add them to your wish list. One that I've already read, I've read those two, but also another one that I've already read that they haven't mentioned yet is Fracture by Megan Miranda. This book is seriously amazing. It's a debut novel. It is the story of a girl, Delaney, who drowns and dies and is brought back to life. And she has this new ability. And I'm not going to tell you what her ability is because it kind of gives things away, but it's a very freaky ability. So it adds a bit of suspense and mystery to the story. And it's just a great book. It's kind of short, so it's a quick read. I read it in a few hours. I couldn't really put it down. But I really did love it. I think you guys will really enjoy it as well. This one's coming January from LaCour Books for Young Readers. Now, on to the books that I haven't read that I'm excited about. First up, I have Grave Mercy by Robin LaFevers. This is book one in his Fair Assassin series. This looks freaking amazing. It is the story of a girl, Ismay, who is 17 years old, running away from an arranged marriage, and she ends up in this convent where she is told that she has gifts that have been given to her by the god of death himself. And if she accepts this mission and stays at the convent, they will train her to become Death's assassin. And so she does accept this challenge or this mission, and she is trained and sent to the High Court of Brittany for her first assignment, and she ends up falling in love with the man she's supposed to kill. So this sounds just awesome. I cannot wait to read it. It comes out April 2012 from Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. Born Wicked by Jessica Spotswood. This is the first book in the Cahill Witch Chronicles series, and I love witches. I was born on Halloween, so I was kind of surrounded by witches, like in my family. I was always the little witch in the family, and I was always a witch for Halloween, and I always read stories about witches, and I did papers on witches, and I watched movies about witches, and I actually went to Salem to find out more about the Salem witch trials and things like that. So I've always loved witches, and I'm very excited to see a young adult book about witches. So I can't wait to read this one, and I love the cover. This one's coming February 2012 from Penguin. Partials by Dan Wells. This is kind of a dystopian sci-fi, and it's a young adult debut. And the tagline says, "The only hope for humanity isn't human." And I'm going to read the little excerpt on the back. It's a quote from the president. It says, "When our ancestors were attacked at Pearl Harbor, they called it a day that would live in infamy. The day the partials attacked us with the RM virus will not live in anything because there will be none of us left to remember it." And it says, President David R. Cregan, March 21st, 2065, in a press conference at the White House. 3 hours later, he hanged himself. So it's a very morbid little excerpt, but it makes me really want to read the book. So I'm definitely pushing this one to the top of my reading pile. It will be out February 28th, 2012 from Harper. Where It Began by Redisch Dtampler. This is a contemporary novel. It's also a debut, or a YA debut, and it is the story of a girl who is in a car accident, and she wakes up and has no memory of how she got there, and the guy she was with is nowhere to be found, and so now she has to piece her life back together. It kind of makes me think of Forget You by Jennifer Eccles, which I loved, so I can't wait to read this one. It's coming February 2012 from Simon Pulse. Ditched, a love story by Robin Mellom. This is another contemporary novel I'm very excited about. It is the story of a girl, Justina, who's invited to prom by her best friend, and then he ditches her. And it's kind of one of those where you backtrack and find out exactly what happened to lead up to the ditching. And it just looks super, super cute. I've already read a bunch of great reviews for it, so I need to find time to read it. Hopefully this month. The Disenchantments by Nina LaCour. This one has so many things going for it. It's told from a guy's point of view. It is contemporary. It's about a road trip and an all-girls band. Actually, it's about the world's worst all-girls band. So I love Nina LaCour's debut novel, Hold Still. This one has been at the top of my wish list since I first heard about it, and I just got it this last week. So I'm going to find the time to read it very soon just because it sounds amazing. And if those like 4 qualities don't make you want to read it, there's something wrong with you. Why We Broke Up by Daniel Handler with illustrations by Mayrick Coleman. Not sure how to say that name, sorry. This is the story of Min and Ed's relationship. So Min and Ed are breaking up, and Min writes Ed a letter and gives him a box with these items in it. These items. And it's the story of their relationship and why they're breaking up. So it looks really cute. And sad at the same time. Harbinger by Sara Wilson Etienne. This is a psychological thriller as well as a debut novel for 2012. And there are just a couple sentences on the back of this book that made me really want to read it. First up, the girl, her first night at Holbrook, she feels connected to the school like she's come home, except she and her new friends keep waking up on their dorm room floors with their hands stained red. And then also there's a guy who helps her unravel the mystery, but Faye is certain he's also trying to kill her and maybe the rest of the world too. So I have no clue what this book is going to be like, but I'm very excited to find out. And that one's coming February 2012. Fairy Tales and Nightmares by Melissa Marr. This is a collection of short stories from Melissa Marr. Some wicked lovely characters apparently make appearances in this book, and then there are some new characters. And I've only read the first 2 books in the Wicked Lovely series, but I love them. I've been meaning to reread them so I can finish the series. I'm going to have to do that before I can read this one, but this sounds like it has some great short stories in it. Melissa Marr has a very dark and twisted mind. I love it. And that one's coming March 2012. Pretty Crooked by Elisa Ludwig. This one sounds really cute. It's a modern day Robin Hood with a girl who goes to this prep school, stealing from her rich schoolmates and giving to the poor. And the cops start investigating, and this boy, Aiden Murphy, Valley Prep's most notorious and gorgeous ace degenerate, is the only one she can turn to for help. So that looks really fun, and this one's coming March 2012. And then I promise I'm almost done. Cold Fury by T.M. Goeglein. I'm not sure how to say that name, I'm sorry. But this is the story of a girl who finds out on her 16th birthday by these people who are chasing her and trying to kill her that her family is involved in the mob, and her family is now missing and she has to find them. And she's also on the run from these like assassins, and she's armed with a gun, a briefcase full of money, and a notebook that holds the key to ultimate power, which is why everybody's after her and her family. So this sounds really, really awesome. It's coming July 2012 from Penguin. And my last book is Dead to You by Lisa McMann. I freaking love Lisa McMann. Every book by her I've read, I've loved. This is a story of a boy, Ethan, who was abducted from his front yard when he was 7, and now he's 16 years old and he's been returned to his family, and it's a miracle. But then his family starts falling apart because he doesn't remember anything about what happened when he was taken. And it's because something is keeping his memory blocked, and it says something unspeakable. So this sounds really, really awesome. It's another one of Lisa McMann's very short books that looks like it won't take very long to read. So I kind of love that because I can just sit down and read her books in one sitting. But this one sounds very twisted and like a book that I will really love, and it's coming February 2012. So those are all the books I'm going to mention. I could talk for like hours about this subject, but I'm not going to because you guys would want to shoot me. But I would love it if you would leave comments about any books that you're excited about from my list, or any books that I didn't mention that you're excited about. I always love finding out about books that I haven't heard of yet. And I'll see you guys next week.